Sardar versus Ghaddar, book versus book. Let me now throw it open for a wider discussion. Bhavya Narasimha Moorthy is the national spokesperson of the Congress party. Siddharth Yadav represents the Bharatiya Janata Party. Aarti Jairath is a senior journalist and a political commentator, as is Abhijit Iyer Mitra, senior research fellow at the Institute of Peace and Conflict Studies. Bhavya Narasimha Moorthy, is it civility or decency calling a fellow member of parliament a traitor or my friend traitor or words to that effect, madam?
Most importantly, let me be honest. I was really very interested in this debate because I want to make one statement before everything else. Whether it is about Nishikant Dubey or all these issues, this is only Nishikant Dubey was one of these minions who was sent by Narendra Modi to save his face because he couldn't come to parliament to face the real issues. Real issues like why his name is in Epstein's file. Real issues like why eminent REGA thing is not discussed. Why people died in Indore drinking contaminated water. All these issues, US trade deal, where we have a lot of questions. Why that? It's like totally different from what Trump announced yesterday, the Secretary of State announced, and what Piyush Goyal is speaking today. It's like contrary to this. There are so many important questions here. But all he had to do is, from his rule book, took out the rule where, he can bring in Nehru, send in these minions like Nishikant Dubey to disrupt the whole thing and save his face. Exactly.
Now that you've said that, would you want to answer my question? Because my question to you was very specific. Is this civility or decency calling a fellow member of parliament my traitor friend or words to that effect, madam?
Because he is a traitor. If people are not ready to answer the real issues, when national security is in risk, then it is the duty of opposition to point
call a fellow MP a
and
traitor?
when you do not, even the speaker for that matter, he's not letting the opposition leader even speak. He lets Nishikant Dubey speak for 5 minutes. How just is that? You don't allow the leader of opposition to speak. You bring out all the rules. He's speaking about the present, about the real issues. You don't want him to speak. You don't want him to speak about national security. You don't want to speak about the book written by the
Siddharth Yadav, okay for the BJP to label any leader, especially leader of opposition or other protesting MPs, Desh ke dushman, but be outraged if Rahul calls Bittu my traitor friend? Siddharth Yadav?
Gaurav, I think I can't understand how big of an irony it would be that you're asking a question about civility to a Congress spokesperson who's calling an elected member of parliament, a member of the Lok Sabha, a minion on your show. Is this civility? Is this what Congress party's politics is about today?
Because that's in your
Is this what Congress party thinks is healthy in a democracy? Madam, I was not speaking while you were speaking. Have the courtesy to hear me out. You have said enough. You said enough. I was hearing you patiently. Now have the courtesy to hear me out. The reality is the Indian politics is hitting a new low every day, Gaurav. The Indian politics is hitting a new low every day because of leaders like Rahul Gandhi and their spokespersons like the madam sitting on your show. You think that it's all right to call elected members of parliament millions, and you think it's all right to call a union minister who comes from the Sikh community, that community which has laid down life and blood and sweat to save this motherland, a traitor, and you think that's all right? I am sorry. We are on different pages. We cannot be on the same page. I am very sorry. You're calling a Sikh leader of this country. You're calling a Sardar a Ghaddar. I'm sorry. Gaurav, this can't be the way your show is conducted. I was not speaking while this woman was speaking. I did not utter a word.
One by one.
Gaurav, I reclaim my 30 seconds.
Don't play your community card. He was addressing the person, not the community.
Ma'am, Mr. Yadav did not interrupt when you were speaking. My request to you, ma'am, is permit him to complete his point. I'll come back to you. He did not interrupt when you were speaking, ma'am. Go on, sir.
Gaurav, I think this has become a new fashion for the Congress party. You don't let the parliament conduct in a proper manner. You don't let debates conduct in a proper manner. What has happened? What has happened to this Rahul's Congress? Rahul Gandhi is calling a leader of the Sikh community, a union minister of our country, a traitor. A Sardar cannot be a Ghaddar. Sardar Ghaddar nahi hote. But this, this mindset of the Congress party and this mindset of the Gandhi family, which comes from entering into the Golden Temple and bedbi karna, and after that 1984 riots, the massacre that the Sikh community had to face, and now in 2026 you stand on the stairs of the temple of our democracy and call someone a traitor. On what account? So many leaders have left your party. You welcome them back. Alka Lamba, your leader, left the party. You welcomed her back. Is she a traitor?
Let me bring in
parties like TNC, NCP. All of them are factions from the Congress party. All of them left. But you don't call them a traitor. But you choose to call a Sikh leader a traitor. This is the mindset. And this is unacceptable, Gaurav. Unacceptable.
Let me bring in Aarti Jairath.
You cannot do this.
But
Rahul Gandhi thinks so high of
decades.
himself. He thinks,
absolutely.
Meri tanashahi is desh.
So you made your point. Aarti Jairath, has Rahul Gandhi given the BJP an issue on a platter? Why call Bittu a my traitor friend, or what's to that effect, Aarti Jairath?
Well, firstly, I think, Gaurav, we have to put that remark in a context. I don't think he was calling him Deshdrohi. He was calling him traitor to the Congress party because he left the Congress party on the eve of the elections, joined the BJP and got elected on a BJP ticket. So Rahul Gandhi is calling him a traitor in that context, and he added that you will come back to the Congress. So it was very clear what the context was. The BJP is obviously trying to gain political mileage because Punjab elections are coming up in 2027, and they would like to make political, sort of harvest out of this. But, Gaurav,
which is why my question that Congress has given an issue on a platter to the BJP instead of keeping the focus either on General Naravane's book or on the Indo-US deal, as Bhavya was just pointing out.
But go on, ma'am. Plays out. But I want to make two quick points. Yes, one is that it is absolutely unprecedented that the Prime Minister is not allowed to give his reply to the motion of thanks for the President's address. I don't think in all the years that I've covered Parliament, this has ever happened before. And I think this is really a matter of shame that the Prime Minister was not allowed to speak. Secondly, I am very disturbed by the fact that Parliament seems to have become a forum for name calling. You had Tejasvi Surya accusing Rahul Gandhi of being anti-national, Rahul Gandhi hitting back, then, now this whole traitor lob coming. I mean, what is this? This is Parliament, which is meant for debate, or is Parliament meant for name calling? And I think
is the temple of democracy. You're absolutely right.
Today, Nishikant Dubey took it to a new low when he pulls out these books and he goes back into history and talks about debauchery of Congress leaders. I mean, Gaurav, is this what Parliament has been reduced to? I think this is something, we need to resolve. Otherwise, the whole system is going to crack up.
In fact, that's the question I'm coming to. That's the question on resolution. We report on conflict and conflict resolution. It's happening in our midst in the temple of democracy. But Abhijit, is this a Rahul Gandhi self-goal? Everyone sympathizes with Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. They've lost their father to terror, grandmother to terror. Ravneet Bittu is again a victim of terror. He's lost his grandfather, Sardar Bhayan Singh, to terror. Completely uncalled for attack on Ravneet Bittu, or it's banter between colleagues and party men?
Look, calling somebody a traitor is never banter. But since Ms. Jairath wanted to bring in context, let me bring some more context in. On the 1st of January, 1923, a gentleman called Motilal Nehru, along with another gentleman called Chittaranjan Das, left the Congress in protest against a gentleman called Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, and made a party called the Swaraj Party, which then which criticized the Congress and contested the elections. So I'm wondering if Rahul Gandhi would consider Mr. Motilal Nehru also to be a traitor to the Congress then. Number one. Number two, I think there are lots of Congress old guard themselves who would consider Rahul Gandhi a traitor to the nationalist ideas of the Congress. Remember, this is called the Indian National Congress. It taught Indians what nationalism was. Today, the scion of that family and the leader of the party is telling you that nationalism is bad. anything to do with national pride is bad. Basically, you have to be a globalist internationalist. So many people would say he has betrayed the ideals of the Congress. He's betrayed the ideals of his grandmother. He's betrayed the ideals of his great-grandfather. I think in terms of traitor, Rahul Gandhi needs to be very careful, because that is an epithet that can equally be applied to him ideologically and to his great-great-grandfather.
Okay, both Aarti Jairat and Bhavya,
Okay,
Narasimha Moorthy want to
please
respond.
get this?
Yes,
Can I
Bhavya
please
wants to
get
quickly
this?
respond. Go on, ma'am.
I can't believe Abhijit just compared this person Bittu with Nehru. This is like uncomparable.
They're both human beings, madam. They're equal,
Motilal Nehru
There is no
gave
superior
all
human
his
being.
property to the Congress for the freedom struggle. Do you get that? And his son spent years, his youthful years in jail for the country. Do you get that? Are you comparing Bittu with Motilal Nehru?
He considers Motilal Nehru to be a
mind?
superior human being.
Are you out of your mind
This
to
is the
even
kind of
compare
feudal
that?
mentality.
And your
This is why
nationalism
they are
part.
a Manuvadi
We
party.
are against
They are
your
a complete Manuvadi
pseudo-nationalism.
party. They believe
We
they are
are
somehow
against
that
your
their ruling class.
pseudo-nationalism.
One by one.
You're
Sir,
out of your mind to even
just let
compare
Bhavya complete her
Bittu
point.
with
I'll come to you.
Motilal Nehru.
Just let Bhavya complete her point, sir.
Patriarchy in this country.
Unacceptable.
They are the ones who never wanted. Ambedkar fought
Abhijit,
against this
listen
party.
to me.
Remember
Abhijit,
this.
listen to me.
Ambedkar's entire
Listen to me.
fight
Next
was
time when
against
you
the
compare,
Congress
please
party's
use
Brahminical
a little bit of
patriarchy
your
on
One by
grey
one.
India.
cell.
One by one.
Please use
One
your
by
grey
one.
cell before comparing
One by
personalities.
one.
That is Motilal Nehru, for God's sake, who gave his whole property to
He is
the
not superior.
freedom
He is also
struggle,
a human
and
being.
his son spent his youthful years in jail for the country.
So,
all right? So before
Singh gave his life for
comparing,
the
what are
country.
you even comparing? Then
Singh
it
gave his
was
life
the
for the country. You
ideological
are comparing
difference.
jail time to somebody
Today,
who
this
gave his life for
person
the
left
country.
Congress. Then it was ideological difference.
Are you seriously comparing a man who was
this
killed by
person
terrorists
quit
for
Congress
protecting
either
the
because
unity of the
BJP
country
blackmailed
with
him
somebody
or
who spent time in
traded
jail?
him? He
Are you
left
seriously
Congress
Siddharth
because,
Yadav into this conversation.
listen
I
to
want to
me,
move forward
let me
because there are
speak.
multiple points that I want to
This
raise.
man left
Okay,
Congress
all
either
faders
because
down.
he was
Siddharth Yadav.
blackmailed.
You know, the point that the Congress party is also raising is let the opposition speak. Let at least the leader of opposition speak. If treasury benches won't let the leader of opposition speak in parliament, then they say we will not let the prime minister or the treasury benches speak. There has to be a resolution, sir. Why not let LOP speak?
Gaurav, just please allow me 20 seconds to respond to my learned friend from Congress party. I want to just highlight the kind of mentality congressmen have today. How can you compare Bittu with Nehru? Are who was Bittu? Bittu's grandfather had just laid his life for the country. But he didn't do wine and dine, so you can't compare him with Nehru. Bittu has no contributions. Bittu is a union minister of our country. But how can you compare? Don't compare. This mindset of the Congress party that Rahul Gandhi and the entire Gandhi family is above everything. You know, they are on cloud 9. Everybody in this country is just peasants. ये सब इनके गुलाम हैं. इन लोगों को हमसे कैसे compare किया जाएगा? This is the problem. This allows them to call people traitor. This is point number 1. Point number 2, Gaurav, on the question that you asked. Who is stopping the LOP to speak? Who is stopping? Is he the only elected member from this party? I tell you, forget everybody else. Forget everybody else. In the family only, there's a leader called Priyanka Gandhi. In the last session, she spoke for so long. Did anybody interrupt? The problem is that the LOP of this country today thinks that the parliament has to function according to his will. He thinks that if he stands in the parliament, everybody has to stay mum. Everybody has to bow down. Everybody has to listen to what Rahul Gandhi is saying. I am sorry. We are a democracy. We are a 21st century Bharat. Parliament is the temple of democracy. It will function according to rules. If you can't quote a book which is unpublished, you can't quote a book. You can't do it. If you are Rahul Gandhi, I'm sorry.
Bhavya wants to
Go and
respond
tell
to
this
that.
to your party members.
Bhavya wants to
Go and tell
respond to
this
that.
in
Only
10
Bhavya
Janpath.
now.
But you can't
Go
do
on,
it
ma'am.
in parliament. This is the reality we can't accept.
These BJP people are such hypocrites. You know who stopped the leader of opposition from speaking in parliament? The speaker, who is acting like a puppet of the ruling government. He turned his mic off. He did not allow him to quote a book from an ex-army chief. He doesn't trust him. But he allowed Nishikant Dubey to quote from a random author's book today for 5 minutes.
A book which is not published.
You are hypocrites.
Where is the book?
By your own government.
How can you quote something which is not published?
You didn't allow that book to be published. By you people.
What
you
are
do
you
not trust
saying?
the ex-army
If a book
chief,
is
what
not
you're
published,
saying?
it is not published.
You
It
do not
cannot be
trust the
quoted in the
ex-army
parliament.
chief.
It's as simple as
You
that.
do not trust
Rahul
the
Gandhi
ex-army
can't
Hold
understand
on for a
this.
moment. Hold on for a moment. I want to bring in Aarti Jairat because perhaps these are the kinds of scenes that we're also witnessing in Parliament. And Aarti Jairat, there's always a back channel. The Parliamentary Affairs Minister would reach out to the leader of opposition or somebody in the opposition. There would be a meeting in the Speaker's office over a cup of tea, and Parliament has excellent tea. None of that appears to be happening. Are the battle lines are the divisions too sharp? Is there no common meeting ground now?
It looks like that, Gaurav, and that's what is so tragic. That, listen, to resolve this, both sides have to step back a little bit. Only then can you have a compromise. But both sides seem to be absolutely, stubborn and obstinate and stuck on their positions. So how do you resolve this? And you're right about back channels. Back channels have always been there. And that's how Parliament has managed to function for the last 75 years. Where are those back channels today? They seem to have disappeared. There is no interlocutor anymore who can sit down with the opposition party and parties, actually, because in this case, all the opposition parties were united. And that's how the Prime Minister was not allowed to speak today. But, it is
and that's
really
unprecedented. The way
totally
the women MPs
unprecedented.
from opposition, they went to the treasury benches.
I have never seen this. I have never, in the 30 years that I have covered Parliament, I have never seen this kind of thing where the Prime Minister stopped from speaking. But I think
I want to play out. Look at those images. Look at those
the
images.
was
All the
actually
opposition
caught
MPs at treasury
unprepared.
benches.
The government was actually caught unprepared. I don't think they anticipated this kind of unity and this is what they would do. And actually, it speaks quite poorly of the government's floor management that they were not able to anticipate this and stop it. Because at the end of the day, it is humiliation of the Prime Minister. And I think that is something the government should have avoided, should have definitely avoided. And it is very sad that the opposition managed to get away with this.
No, and tomorrow, what happens at 11 o'clock tomorrow, Abhijit Iyer Mitra? Because there is this Lakshman Rekha between a legitimate protest and what the BJP describes as misconduct inside the Lok Sabha. Has that Lakshman Rekha now been crossed?
It has, Gaurav. Sorry, let me reply. It has been crossed. That Lakshman Rekha has been crossed.
It's been
Please,
crossed.
Abhijit, carry on.
Okay, Abhijit.
No, I don't think it is. I think all protest in Parliament is legitimate, including these ladies protesting. Look, it's a tactic you use. Is there any particular rule in the book that says you can't use this tactic? No, it is all allowed in Parliament. So I don't think any red line has been crossed. I don't think any of the rules of decorum or whatever are covered in this particular protest. I think it's a particularly legit protest. And I, for one, I understand where Ms. Jairat is coming from, that she's very frustrated with Parliament functioning this way. But I mostly watch Parliament for entertainment, and I can tell you I'm getting my money's worth.
Oh, no, we watch it because that's the temple of our democracy.
Parliament is not meant for entertainment, Abhijit.
I know,
because I watch Parliament because I really want to know what are laws being made for me.
Somebody who has watched Parliament for so many years, I expect more than it. I expect not.
I mean, you look at the Singol there, you look at the discipline that you expect. Absolutely. If I may, because this is the temple of our democracy. This is where we see our lawmakers. They represent us. They make laws for us. And this is where I want to know where my government is moving forward. I want to see the opposition put the government on the mat and the government respond to the opposition. But Bhavya Narasimha Moorthy, it's now just protest versus protest. So Congress will raise General Naravane's book. The BJP will say that Congress has insulted Sikhs, or then the BJP will come out with this long list of alleged corruption from Nehru to Rajiv Gandhi. Where does it leave people like us? Where are our laws being made?
First, I want to say, ma'am, you spoke about the Prime Minister's humiliation because the female MPs went and protested, right? But I think that was not humiliation. That's their duty. But he humiliated himself and the chair, the PM's chair, which was so respected for all these years when his name appeared on Epstein's file. There is no bigger humiliation than that. to Narendra Modi as well as the PM's chair. First thing.
Okay,
Coming
I want to
you,
bring in Siddharth.
yes.
I want
Okay,
to bring
you
in
spoke
Siddharth
about the
because I
protest.
want
You
to
spoke about the
stay on
protest in the
the
book. I
issues that
want to
are
answer
current
this.
today. Siddharth Yadav, isn't this arrogance of power, BJP not reaching out to the opposition, find a middle path, let work happen? Because after all, if the opposition can't protest in the temple of democracy, government runs the country. Let the opposition at least have its say in parliament, sir.
No, Gauravji, let me ask this question to you with all the humility. What is that the government is not doing that used to happen? Are we not conducting the BACs? Are we not doing an all-party meet? Are we not meeting the opposition members? Is the parliamentary affairs minister not in touch with the leaders of the houses? What is it that you're not doing? And what is it that requires that the Congress party's MPs, which is unprecedented, female MPs would walk up to the chair of the Prime Minister? What do you have to do in power that would prevent that? What do you have to do in power so that, such a kind of an act by female MPs carrying a poster of the Prime Minister when he's supposed to address the House after the President's address, they walked up to that seat and does not let the Prime Minister address the House? What do you do? I don't understand who's drawing these lines. I don't understand.
We're going to
what
watch.
Is it that the
We just
opposition
hope
wants,
tomorrow
or what is it that
the parliament functions, raise all points democratically, thrash them out democratically, verbally. But we'll be tracking that story very closely. Privileged to have all of you as part of this discussion on the show. Many thanks for watching me.